I arrived an hour early because the snow was heavier than expected, because instinct told me not to be late, because something in my chest felt off. The house glowed warm and festive, gold lights, laughter leaking through the windows, the scent of cinnamon and roasted meat clinging to the cold air. I didn't knock. I still had my key. That was my first mistake. I stepped into the hallway and froze. Her voice drifted from the dining room, light, careless, happy in a way she hadn't been with me for months. "I'm 3 weeks pregnant," she laughed softly. "For my boss. He's going to be a father." A pause, then applause, glasses clinking. Someone said, "Congratulations." My hands went numb, not shaking, empty. The world didn't crash, it narrowed. I stood there, invisible, watching the scene fold in on itself like a lie rehearsed too many times. My wife, smiling, touching her stomach like it already belonged to someone else's future. I didn't step forward. I didn't speak. I left. Snow swallowed my footprints before I reached the car. I didn't confront her that night, or the next, or the week after. I watched. I watched how she stopped meeting my eyes, how her phone never left her palm, how she smiled at messages she pretended were work. I watched how her parents treated me, polite, distant, rehearsed, as if they'd already rewritten the story and I was a character waiting to be erased. At night, she slept facing away from me, one hand protectively over her stomach. She didn't know I knew, or maybe she thought I was too weak to connect the dots. I replayed her voice again and again. 3 weeks pregnant. I did the math. It fit too cleanly. Every late meeting, every business trip, every time she said my touch felt foreign. I didn't cry. I cataloged. There's a certain clarity that comes when betrayal stops hurting and starts instructing. I listened to my instincts like a surgeon listens to a heartbeat, steady, precise, unemotional. I began gathering fragments, bank statements, call logs, hotel receipts disguised as corporate expenses. Her boss's name surfaced too often, like a stain that wouldn't wash out. Still, I said nothing. Silence is a weapon when wielded correctly. I became a ghost in my own marriage. I woke early, left notes, made dinner, smiled when expected, and every night I logged the truth. Her location history synced to the cloud she forgot I had access to, a burner phone tucked in her gym bag, a private clinic invoice dated exactly 3 weeks before Christmas. I watched her lie with practiced ease. It was almost impressive. I ordered a paternity test, quietly, legally, preemptively. The lab didn't ask questions. Money speaks clearly. While I waited, I planned. Not revenge, strategy. I transferred assets, restructured accounts, moved investments offshore. A villa in Switzerland, quiet, distant, untouchable. Not for escape, for certainty. She thought I was oblivious. I was preparing an ending. When the results arrived, I didn't open them immediately. I already knew the answer, but truth has weight. It needs to be held before it's released. The envelope sat on my desk for 3 hours. When I finally opened it, the confirmation felt hollow. Probability of paternity, 0.00%. I didn't feel rage. I felt clean. I waited for the right moment. It came 3 weeks later, Thanksgiving. Her family called, loud, expectant, commanding. "If you want to join Thanksgiving, come wash the dishes," my daughter-in-law barked over the phone, laughing like obedience was tradition. I paused, then smiled. "Enjoy," I said. I hung up and boarded a private jet. An hour later, I posted a photo: snow-capped mountains, glass walls, firelight, wine untouched, captionless. The phone detonated. 71 missed calls, messages blurred together, confusion, panic, rage. My wife's name pulsed on the screen like a wound trying to speak. I answered once. "I know," I said calmly. Silence. "I know whose child it is. I know how long it's been going on, and I know you thought I'd beg." Her breath fractured. I hung up. She flew to Switzerland 2 days later. Her eyes were swollen, her confidence gone. "You ruined everything," she whispered, standing in my living room like a trespasser. I poured myself a drink. "No," I said. "You revealed it. I just stopped pretending." She tried to explain, to cry, to rewrite history. I handed her the documents, the paternity test, the bank transfers, the legal separation papers already filed. Her knees buckled. "I loved you," she said. I met her gaze for the first time in months. "No," I replied. "You loved what I provided." She reached for me. I stepped back. The silence was surgical. "I'm not angry," I added. "I'm finished." Security escorted her out. I watched from the window as she disappeared into the snow, small, loud, and suddenly irrelevant. That night, I stood alone on the terrace. The Alps didn't care about betrayal. They existed, immovable, indifferent, eternal. I thought about the man I had been, the one who believed love was safety, the one who mistook loyalty for permanence. That man was gone. What remained was clarity. Power doesn't come from revenge. It comes from refusing to beg for truth ever again. My phone buzzed once more. I didn't look. Some endings don't need witnesses. I turned off the lights and let the silence keep me.